Hello everyone, I'm Ludmila and I'm from Kyiv. I want to tell you about the first day of high-scale invasion which we experienced here in our house. It was 5 a.m. I was sleeping and I had a dream. In my dream I had explosions. And I thought, oh my gosh, all this news about possible war influenced already my dreams. It's just some nightmare, and I have just a dream that I can hear these explosions. But at this moment, my husband woke me up and said, Luda, wake up. The war started. Yes, we were told that it can be, but nobody believed that real war can happen. And we didn't have any things prepared for this case. Yeah, we were such stupid people that had nothing before the war. We started packing things, and we wanted to go to my father. He lives not far from Kyiv in a small town. But when already everything was packed and we were sitting in the car, it was already 7 a.m. and I saw that all Kyiv was in traffic jams. Everything was red, and we live in the left bank, and to move through the bridges was already impossible. Everything was stuck. And we understood that we should stay in our house. All this time we could hear sounds of explosions somewhere around. We read the news, but I could find a few little news, not so many, not so much. The first YouTube channel I found in the beginning, it was Stremousov's channel, pro-Russian, and I was shocked because he said that, oh, our troops are coming, hooray, hooray, everything already will be Russian. And I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. We had no news on TV. And fortunately, we had a basement in our house, so we brought things there, warm things, food, water. Our children were playing just their mobiles, and I was happy that they were not so stressed. And we started reading the news, and we couldn't realize that it happened in reality. I still thought that it was just my nightmare. It couldn't be true. I couldn't believe it. My first intention was to write a message to my relatives in Russia. We had a group in Viber, and I wrote to them that don't worry about us, we are alive and we are safe just for that moment. And nobody replied me. Just my mom called me. My mom lives in Crimea, and she called me just after waking up, and she couldn't understand what was happening. I said that I hear explosions around us. We are sitting in our basement, and she started crying. But then she said, "Okay, I will read the news, and then I will call you back." And in 5 minutes, she called me smiling and happy, and she said, "Oh, Luda, don't worry, just relax and wait. You will be saved by Russian troops." And I couldn't understand her saved from whom. My aunt sent me just emoji with a kiss, and that's all. I really was confused, shocked. My husband's relatives came to us because they don't have basement, and they had small children, so they were 3 families in one basement. The smallest baby was 9 months. It was really stressful. We were frightened. We couldn't understand what will be next after that. And the only thing which I could do is just to organizing everything for our living in this basement, for children, for grown-ups. My husband's brother, my brother-in-law, he also went to work every day, and they were told maybe it wouldn't be any opportunity to come home for the night, so they had to take enough food for 2 or 3 days with them. And when my husband was at work, my neighbor helped me, and we drove together to the nearest supermarket. And I saw that the main roads were dug out, and they were block posts, a lot of military people, and I couldn't, I didn't understand that it was Kyiv. It was completely different. It was already some other city, a war city. We went to the supermarket, and of course, people started buying everything they could. And I managed to buy some chocolate bars, some ready breakfasts, and Snickers, bars, something like this, because I couldn't buy already any bread, cereals, rice, or pasta. There were no any such kind of food, but I bought a lot of. I understood that I have to buy as much as I can, because we had a lot of people in our house, and we didn't know how long it will be necessary to live together, and if it would be other opportunity to buy anything. So I bought a lot of food then, and frankly speaking, some of this food was stored in our cupboards during 2 years. Nobody wanted to eat this ready breakfast or something like this. Then my father-in-law told me that in the suburbs of Kyiv it was possible to buy flour, pasta, rice, meat. It was more necessary than chocolate bars, so we decided to go there together. And then I was really frightened because news told us that Russian tanks were already 15 or 16 kilometers from our house. We could hear explosions, and yes, we were crazy, I think. I just thought that I have to find something for my children, and that's all. Uh, this store was closed when we came there. But fortunately, supermarkets out of Kyiv, there were more different kind of food. So I managed to buy here also some meat, flour, and other stuff. So I was happy that we bought everything, and I was a little bit calm that at least we have what to eat in this situation. Then I read in social media that people were asked to cook for militarians in blog posts, and I remember that I cooked borscht, and I baked pies with potatoes, with cabbage, and I understood that the only thing not to think about all this tragedy is to do something and to help other people. So I cooked, I cleaned, then we read the news, and I was really surprised that the Ukrainian army started struggle, and it had success in some directions, and we had hope in that moment. Then my aunt called me in 2 days, and she told me, this Chernobyl nuclear station is protected by two armies. I was really interested which armies were there, and she said Russian army and Ukrainian army. They protect this Chernobyl plant, nuclear plant, energy station. And I asked her, but why are they protecting it together? Who is attacking it? And she told me some Nazikin. They call it Nazikin. Nazikin attack it. And I asked her, what people are they, these Nazikin? Oh, they are such really bad people, such really bad people. And I said, sure, I live in Ukraine during more than 20 years, and I have never seen any of them. And then I told her that, better not call me anymore because you just tell me some nonsense. But after talking to my Russian relatives, I think I had panic attacks because I had fever. My temperature raised, and I was shaking, and I was like in a vacuum. I couldn't understand where was I and what was happening, and that was a really nightmare. So we spent 11 days in our basement, and one day we had hope, and we believed that everything should be fine. The other day, we were depressed, and it was like a swing. And in the end of the 10th day, my friend from Germany, we studied together at the university in Russia. Then she married a German man and moved to Germany. And she called me and she told me, my husband is watching the news and he tells that you should leave Kyiv because it's really possible to be uh, uh, occupied with Russian troops. And then really was, I was crying, I was desperate. And before this moment, I didn't think about leaving our house. But at that moment already, I understood that it's time to go. It was a very difficult decision because we built our house ourselves. And when you have plants planted with your eyes and everything you organized for your family. But at that moment, I understood that our lives were more important than just things and our house. And also, I didn't want to leave my husband and go away without him. At that moment, I knew that if you have 3 children, then man, father of 3 children can leave Ukraine and can go abroad. So I asked my husband to go with us to Germany. Really, first we didn't think about Germany. We have relatives in Lviv, and they also told us that we can come to their house. They invited us, and we thought that we will go to Lviv, and then if it will be something extraordinary, then we will go to Germany. So next day, it was already the 5th of March. We packed our things. I did my hair. I did hair for my daughter. I couldn't sleep that night. I looked at my house and I understood that maybe I would never come back to my house. And then I decided that I should do something. We should look nice. It was really awful. I took just some essential things, and it was rather cold that time. We took warm clothes, food, wear, and early in the morning when curfew finished at 8 a.m., we started moving. Only one bridge worked that time, so we went to this bridge and it was an enormous traffic jam. We were there, I think, during 3 or 4 hours. I saw so many cars so close to each other and empty streets in our city. It was really sad to see. And you could drive really very, very slowly. So during the first day, we managed to drive just 280 kilometers. We were planning to stay for a night in Khmelnytsky, but unfortunately we didn't manage to reach it before another curfew started. And luckily we found a place to stay for a night. It was like a miracle because my sister called me, and she said, "Oh, my ex-husband has relatives in this village which is near you. I will call them now." And they let us for a night. They were very kind people. Then next day we reached the border. During our way, we read the news, and I read that American embassy was evacuated from Lviv to Poland. Then I understood that in Lviv it was also not so safe, and I said, my husband, let's go to Germany. At the border, there were also a very, very long queue of cars. We were exhausted. It was cold. 3 children and my husband and I, a full car of people, and it wasn't so comfortable to be there. Nevertheless, yeah, my friend's husband, Achim, he came to the Polish border to meet us. It was such kind from his side. I couldn't believe that a completely unknown person is ready to drive 1,500 kilometers just to meet us. And I told them that, we just have our sat-nav tell us the address, and we can drive ourselves. But my friend Nadia, she told, he can't stay without doing anything. He wants to come and meet you, and it was so nice of him. And early in the morning, we crossed the board and met Achim. And only then my husband asked him, how many kilometers should we drive now to your house? And he said, 1,500. And we even didn't get to know the distance before. Just Nadia told me that they lived 700 kilometers from the border, but which border she didn't say me. It turned out 700 kilometers from Polish border, not from Ukrainian border. And this ride was exhausting. We had no power, we didn't sleep well all this time. But thanks Achim, he drove with us, and I really appreciate their help, and that they told us that we should leave Kyiv at that moment. And the moment when we reached the first point of a paid road, where we had to pay for the road in Poland, I realized I didn't have any Polish money, zloty. No, Achim gave us some zlotys, but this woman in this point, she told us that for Ukrainians it was for free. At that moment, I felt that I was really a refugee at that moment. and that it was so kind from Polish people to make free ride for us. And I started crying. Uh, it was unbelievable to realize that you and your family are refugees in a different country. We have never been to Poland or Germany before. And I should say that every people we met there were very kind to us. And I really appreciate their help. And I didn't know then how long are we going to stay there. We just thought, okay, 2 or 3 weeks and then we come back. But it turned out that I will come back only in an hour with our children. My husband came in a month, but we spent a year there.